In terms of anybody who's actually working with reinforcement learning, maybe a startup, what challenges do you believe that they will face when they start working with it?
Well, deep neural networks, which is what in practice most of these systems are based on, are black boxes. And if something doesn't work as it was hoped, then it isn't clear how to fix it. That's one problem. It's similar to a human being making decisions. It's also a black box, actually. It's interesting that people ascribe this black box nature only to AI, when in truth, you ask someone, why did you take this decision? They will usually post-rationalize it with something and give you some explanation, but it's not at all clear that their explanation is the real, really explains their actions, right? So just want to make sure that this, understood. Now, the only option then is to retrain once you have this problem, you notice a problem in the system, and you want to fix it, you have to retrain the whole agent, and then you have to take the new, taking the new conditions or considerations that came up into account. Another related issue is that if the agent behaves well in some settings or states of the system, there is no guarantee that it will behave well in other states and contingencies. There might be too many possible states to test the system in a satisfying number of them to feel safe about its behavior. Some of these things can be partially or mostly overcome by training in many different simulated environments, for example. There are other ways to make the policy more robust to unknown states as well. It is noteworthy, though, from a business perspective, that there are no self-driving cars currently on most city roads, although there has been a lot of training and there are a remarkably low number of accidents, considering the driving hours that some of those algorithms have under their belt. Why is that? If a human is an accident, right, we brush it off mostly off and say, oh, well, another accident. Right? If one of those algorithms, however, has an accident, it is in the news. We have much lower intrinsic tolerance to machine failings than we have to human failings. Perhaps because we feel somehow more helpless when it is a machine that drives our car into another car or into a freeway divider, than if it is our relative or our friend who has a sudden lapse of ability or vision or whatever, we post-rationalize. That is, even so, the algorithm overall has a much better performance than the best human being alive. If the perceived possibility of crashing is not zero or really close to zero, then most people aren't inclined to even be driven by an algorithm. This might appear irrational, but it is nevertheless a practical concern that startups should think about.